Can you imagine the crushing feeling of watching your team's promising preseason momentum potentially derail in a single, seemingly innocent moment? That's exactly what Vancouver Canucks fans experienced Wednesday night as they witnessed what should have been a celebratory 3-1 victory over the Calgary Flames transform into a nightmare scenario that could haunt the organization for months to come. In the cruel world of professional hockey, where careers can change in the blink of an eye, the sight of Nils Hoglander limping off the ice and later leaving the arena in a walking boot serves as a stark reminder that success and disaster often walk hand in hand. This wasn't just another preseason game where coaches experiment with lineups and young players get their chances to shine. This was supposed to be a confidence-building performance that showcased the Canucks' depth and preparation for the upcoming regular season. Instead, it became a sobering lesson in how quickly optimism can turn to anxiety in the unforgiving landscape of professional sports. Before we dive into the injury concerns that have cast a shadow over everything, let's acknowledge what was genuinely impressive about this performance. The Canucks didn't just win, they dominated against a Flames team that sent a relatively inexperienced group to Abbotsford. This was exactly the kind of statement victory that builds momentum heading into the regular season opener on October 9th. Filip Chytil looked absolutely sensational, appearing to be operating on a completely different level than most players on the ice. His vision, positioning, and decision-making suggested a player who has fully embraced his role and is ready to make a significant impact when games start counting. For a team that has struggled with depth scoring in recent years, Chytil's emergence could be a game-changing development. Thatcher Demco's performance was equally encouraging, demonstrating the kind of sharpness and positioning that made him such a crucial component of the Canucks' success in previous seasons. His ability to track pucks, make difficult saves look routine, and maintain his composure under pressure showed that he's ready to carry the goaltending load once again. But perhaps most intriguingly, this game showcased the incredible development of the Canucks' young defensive prospects, particularly Victor Mancini and Tom Willander, who both turned in performances that had coaches and scouts taking notice. Victor Mancini's continued excellence in preseason play is becoming impossible to ignore. Scoring his second goal in 2 games while displaying the kind of offensive instincts and defensive reliability that could make him a legitimate NHL contributor sooner rather than later. His combination of size, skill, and hockey intelligence represents exactly the kind of asset that can transform a team's blue line depth. Coach Adam Foote's comments about Mancini revealed both admiration and realistic expectations. He has that burst and scored those goals, but there are little things that I think assistant coach Kevin Dean is really going to help him with, the little things that he's going to be able to fix. This suggests that while Mancini has tremendous upside, the coaching staff understands the importance of refining his game before he becomes a full-time NHL player. However, it was Tom Willander's performance that truly captured attention and generated the most excitement among those who understand the Canucks' long-term plans. His puck retrieval skills looked dramatically improved compared to earlier training camp appearances, and his overall game showed the kind of progression that turns prospects into impact players. Willander represents the future of the Canucks defense, and performances like this one demonstrate why the organization has such high hopes for his development. His ability to read plays, make smart decisions with the puck, and contribute defensively suggests that Vancouver's defensive prospect pool is in excellent shape moving forward. Thatcher Demco's performance deserves special attention because of how crucial his health and effectiveness will be to the Canucks' success this season. Foote's detailed analysis of Demco's play revealed just how much the coaching staff values his presence between the pipes. He has good hands, but if you go back to last season when he came back from injury, compared now, he's close to those pucks, Foote observed. He was so solid with his decisions with the puck, but he also looked like he was moving in a way that the puck wasn't spinning towards him, so it was even better. This kind of technical excellence from a goaltender can be the difference between a playoff team and one that struggles to stay competitive. Demco's ability to handle pressure situations, make crucial saves, and maintain his positioning even during defensive breakdowns gives the Canucks a foundation they can build upon. The most encouraging aspect of Foot's comments was his observation about Demco's performance during a defensive collapse. We had a little breakdown, and you don't want that as a coach to see the breakdown, but I loved seeing how accurate he was in dealing with the pucks. Like, he got into 2 A-level plays and he knew what he was doing, and the puck hit him and dropped. It was good to see. Now, we must address the elephant in the room, the injury that has the potential to significantly impact the Canucks' plans for the upcoming season. Nils Höglander's departure from the game during the second period appeared innocuous at first, just another routine play where a player takes some contact and continues playing. But hockey has a way of making the seemingly harmless into something much more serious. The image of Höglander leaving the arena in a walking boot, as reported by TSN's Farhan Lalji, immediately transforms the narrative of this game from celebration to concern. Walking boots typically indicate significant lower body injuries that require immobilization and extended recovery time. Coach Foot's post-game comments did little to alleviate concerns. Lower body. They're going to assess when we get back. We'll find out more tomorrow or when the doctors look at him. Hopefully it's not too much time missed. The uncertainty in his voice and the careful choice of words suggest that even the coaching staff is bracing for potentially bad news. For a player like Höglander, who has been working to establish himself as a consistent contributor to the Canucks offense, this kind of injury timing couldn't be worse. Preseason injuries can disrupt rhythm, conditioning, and confidence in ways that extend far beyond the physical healing process. Höglander's potential absence creates numerous complications for the Canucks' lineup construction and early season strategy. He represents a specific type of player, someone with offensive upside who can contribute in multiple situations, and finding adequate replacement production isn't always straightforward. The injury also highlights the fragile nature of NHL rosters and the importance of organizational depth. While the Canucks have been working to build a more complete roster, losing key contributors before the season even begins tests that depth in ways no one wants to experience. From a psychological standpoint, seeing a teammate suffer a potentially serious injury during what should have been a routine preseason game can affect team morale and confidence. Players become more cautious, coaches adjust their approach, and the entire dynamic of preparation can shift in subtle but significant ways. Despite the concerns surrounding Höglander's injury, the Canucks have legitimate reasons for optimism heading into the regular season. The performances of Chytil, Demco, Mancini, and Willander demonstrate that the organization has been successful in developing talent and building depth. The challenge now becomes maintaining that positive momentum while dealing with the uncertainty of Höglander's status. The medical evaluation will determine not just his availability for the season opener, but potentially his role and contributions throughout the early part of the campaign. Coach Foot and his staff will need to adjust their plans accordingly, possibly elevating other players into more prominent roles or exploring different lineup combinations than originally envisioned. This kind of adaptability often separates successful teams from those that struggle when faced with adversity. The next 24 to 48 hours will be crucial for determining the severity of Höglander's injury and its impact on the Canucks' season plans. Medical evaluations, imaging studies, and specialist consultations will provide the clarity that everyone associated with the organization desperately needs. For fans, this situation serves as a reminder of how quickly circumstances can change in professional sports. One moment you're celebrating a convincing victory and impressive individual performances, and the next you're holding your breath, hoping that a key player hasn't suffered a season-altering injury. The Canucks organization has shown resilience in dealing with injuries in the past, and their depth development suggests they're better positioned to handle adversity than in previous seasons. However, losing any established NHL player before the season begins is never ideal, regardless of organizational depth. As we await more information about Höglander's condition, the focus must remain on the positive elements of this performance while preparing for various scenarios moving forward. The season is still weeks away, providing time for healing and adjustment if necessary. What's your take on how the Canucks should handle this situation if Höglander's injury proves to be serious? Should they explore roster additions, Or do you think their current depth can handle the challenge? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on whether this injury concern overshadows the positive developments we saw from players like Willander and Mancini. Share your perspective in the comments below, and let's discuss how this could shape Vancouver's early season strategy.